Hello everyone, welcome back to my blog. So today I'm going to start with the requirement analysis. So when we talk about requirement analysis, we will talk from every perspective, be it creation of a new software or rebuilding of something existing. So today the topic that I'm going to take forward is reverse engineering. Engineering, as we all know, is building something. So building something can be building software, hardware, anything that is supposed to be built in an organization. Reverse engineering is you are actually trying to break them to figure out how that was built. Means some existing project or a software that's already in use in any organization, you are trying to break it to smaller chunks, smaller pieces, or smaller modules to figure out that how it was actually made. So it actually encompasses any activity that is done to determine how the product works. All the activities are part of it that we simply need to figure out that how is it working, what was the technology, what is the design we had in our process, which led to what kind of the requirements. So we are actually trying to go back in the reverse in the process of life cycle of a software. So in actual software, we have a different flow, and in reverse engineering, it's completely the reverse of what we have a standard protocol that is used for the development of any software. So, in simple words, if we talk about it, it's basically a process that you have to rethink, you have to restructure, rebuild any legacy software, any software which you want to actually rebuild. You have to go through the reverse engineering. So it basically works background based on the chosen file to determine that what would be the design or the technology that a creator would have used to make it. To make it means what is your actual software. So it means that a software which is already made, we want to go back from the mode where the software is being used to what, how it was made, and what were the requirements. So here if I talk about any example, so let's say you want to make any e-commerce application. So when you want to make something like that, so you will always try to check out all the e-commerce applications which are successful in the market. One such application would be Amazon, or we can take any another examples as well. Let's say Flipkart, eBay, etc. So what an organization will do, they will try to figure out that how is it made. They will try to figure out from what is made to how is it made, what is the design, and what would be the requirements based on when you see any end project. So forward engineering is, this is a normal cycle that any software takes. You have the requirements, and from requirements you are going back to the design to actually your development. You have the source codes with you in the development phase, and then you have the implementation and going to life. So that is how it's behaving. So now when you are talking about reverse engineering, you see what is the behavior of the project or any software, and from there you're trying to figure out what is this, how it's developed, what would be the coding style, what would be the languages that would be used, what is the kind of hardware software implementations, everything you are trying to figure out, and you are checking out what would be the design, and from all that you reach out to what are the requirements. Means if something is made, you are here from where it has started. So from where anything is started is always from the requirements. So you are trying to achieve the requirements, that is your goal. As in forward engineering, your goal is to have a successful project, a live project. And reverse engineering is you are trying to achieve the requirements of any given software which is already in use. It can be a legacy project, anything. So what is actually the requirement that we need to have reverse engineering? So actually when you sometimes you have some applications or certain things are there in your organization which you are no more using them. So when you, and in later stages you feel that you actually want to restart them. So when you want to restart that, you actually need to go back to how what would be the requirements of that. So when you are doing trying to figure out what are the requirements, you have to think in a reverse way. And when you see what was it and how it is, like what it was doing and why it was stopped and everything. So from there you are actually going back to the requirements when you actually want to start something which was halted due to any XYZ reasons in any organization. So second is like you are having some production issues or some any bugs that are reported in your legacy project that's already live. So you want to check out that why you have some issues in your project. So what will you do? You will, from the live project, you will go back to what is the code it is having, and from the code you will try it, and on the code you will figure out that this code is working based on this kind of requirement. So you are actually going back to the requirements level, which is the level 1 of any project. So for the fixing of the bugs, you are supposed to have reverse engineering of the project. That's a way everybody tries to follow just to fix the bugs in a proper way. And then you actually want to redesign something existing, and which is not having proper documentation. So something existing is there which is like you want to change it, because technology is changing every passing day. So you also think that in your organization you want to change certain applications that are being used. So when you are trying to use that, you are trying to change that, sometimes you do not have proper documentation of all the applications that are used, because they were very old applications, and maybe at that time proper documentation was not kept by anybody. So the only thing that you are left with is that you have to reverse your thoughts and to see that what would be the requirements. So you are actually trying to facilitate the software reuse, so that the something which is not used, or something which is like needs to be renewed or should be refreshed, you are simply trying to facilitate the reusing of something. So in all these cases you are trying to reach out to the requirements. So reaching back to where from you have started is reverse engineering. So I hope that's clear to you. If you have any queries in context to this, you can write to me in the comments, and I'll definitely respond back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.